And finally, we have a special guest here that couldn't make it today in person. Simon Segars, the previous chief exec of ARM, longtime technologist, had to go to the UK this week, but he left us a special video welcome to Imagine.
Thanks, Zach, and hi, everyone. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm sure that Imagine will be an amazing event this year. As you've been describing, Zach, the ability to deploy sophisticated AI models on the tiniest devices sitting at the edge of the internet creates profound opportunities. At unbelievably low cost, we can now sense what is happening around us and use that to gain insight and drive decision-making in ways never previously possible. The use cases seem limitless, but crucially, this will allow us to use the Earth's precious resources in the most efficient ways possible. And that will enable us to increase both the quality and quantity of life, while in parallel, solving some of the toughest challenges facing society today. We have to feed and look after more people. We have to address health issues new and old, to rethink education and create an opportunity for everyone to participate. And we have to do all that while addressing climate change and driving down the environmental shadow cast by each of us. Now that's no small task, but I believe that an AI-enabled Internet of Things will help us do all of that, and that's where the opportunity lies. What enables all this is the innovation that is happening on so many fronts simultaneously. New semiconductor devices are emerging with amazing compute capabilities, all the time getting smaller, cheaper, more powerful, and more power efficient. Machine learning algorithms are evolving to exploit that underlying hardware in ways that create a virtuous circle of innovation. And with the deployment of 5G gaining steam, we are creating networks that can support the billions or even trillions of devices that will form this vast Internet of Things. Gone are the days of cellular networks where everything attached to them looks the same, i.e. a smartphone. 5G can support a vast range of devices with very different characteristics. Big ones that sample and stream a lot of data at high bandwidth. Small ones that perhaps just wake up once a day and only check in if some event has happened. And then everything in between. 5G enables these devices to coexist and operate in frequency bands appropriate for their power and bandwidth needs in public or private virtualized networks. It's a foundational technology. Already we see people using these capabilities in new and innovative ways. Wearable devices are starting to emerge that can tell what's going on inside your body just by monitoring the surface of your skin. This goes far beyond step counting and sleep tracking, as important as they are to our well-being, but to truly understanding your physiological state, providing an early warning system for people at risk at various issues, such as seizures, for example. These developments hold the potential to present a complete picture of your state of health to your physician, far beyond the basic instantaneous measurements of temperature, blood pressure, and weight that get taken on every visit to a GP. And as we rely more and more on machinery and electronic equipment in our daily lives, be it in the home or at work or while we're in transit, so too must we monitor and proactively maintain the infrastructure that has become so critical. We're all living through an accelerated shift to digital brought about by the pandemic, and there will undoubtedly be challenges along the way. However, this AI-enabled Internet of Things can ensure that the fabric on which we depend is reliable, safe, and secure. The kind of applications we're talking about need more, though, than just great chips and networks. They get brought to life by the imagination of developers realizing their ideas in software running on these incredible tiny computers. And that is what Edge Impulse is all about. I was drawn to Zach and Jan's vision of empowering developers, shortening the time to deploy an idea, and creating a platform that fuels innovation, very much aligned with how I've spent my career. Edge Impulse is also a community, a group of like-minded, technology-forward thinkers, open to ideas and looking to make tomorrow better than yesterday and even better the day after. This event then is for you, and I hope that the collision of all this raw intellect will trigger new ideas, new thinking, and help drive everyone forwards. I can't wait to see what happens next, and thank you all for coming. Zach, back to you.
Next year, Simon's giving my speech. He's much better than I am. We have one more thing. As Simon mentioned, solving some of the world's most difficult problems is something dear to all of our hearts. We work really hard at Edge Impulse to invest in tech for good, as people, as engineers, as a company. And something we found really early on through our collaborations with Wild Labs and other conservation groups was that nature conservation is actually one of the biggest drivers of AI. There's a lot of pent-up demand to use AI to solve nature conservation problems. So for the last year, we've been investing in technology to make that happen in a much bigger way. So I'm really happy to announce a new product that we're bringing to market together with Conservation X Labs, a nonprofit based in the US that drives technology adoption into nature conservation groups around the world. And what we developed is the ultimate AI-powered camera for nature conservation, nature research, field research. Today, the researchers in this field use a Bushnell camera that costs $500 and stores images to an SD card. And then they'll camp out to the forest 6 months in to the African jungle, get this SD card in a little plastic pouch, and then trek it back out to see whether a poacher came by 6 months earlier. It's not all that useful. The industry's really struggled to bring AI in a form factor that's useful, so we thought, what the heck, why don't we work together to go solve this problem? We're smart engineers. And now we've done it. So this new camera is getting close to completion. You can see a really great build here. We'll have this out for display so everybody can see it. This camera is really unique in that we've used the latest silicon technology, the latest FOMO AI technology to bring 10-year battery life to a nature camera that sits out in the field in difficult conditions. Specialized Sony HDR sensors, so very low power image sensor for low light conditions. Fast trigger speeds, so under 500 milliseconds, industry standard for Bushnell type cameras. Full edge impulse support, not only for image classification and object detection on camera, but we're able to do machine learning on all of the sensors for triggering. So we can run machine learning for passive infrared, for vibration, and for audio. And this is all powered by Nordic silicon, by Sony silicon, by ST silicon, and developed together with our other conservation partners, Aribata, IRNAS, Q42. So we'll have more about this later, but this will be a Conservation X product. We're donating it to the nonprofit, and they'll be bringing this to market sometime next year. And finally, welcome to Imagine to the rest of today. This is for you. We've got amazing keynotes. We're going to have time for a coffee break. And the afternoon will be great networking, roundtables, lightning talks. Stick around for that. And then finally, the best keynotes come last. Jan's CTO keynote you do not want to miss.